that shit is that KO. No way later, still I fuck my 28th.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be making one of my personal favorites, cinnamon rolls. Here are the ingredients. So guys, a little disclaimer. Guys, I forgot to record each and every single step while I was baking, so please do forgive me. What I will do is I will take you guys through step by step through my voiceover how to achieve these beautiful, soft, delicious cinnamon rolls that will make everybody go crazy. So let's begin baking. So the first step is to get a glass and pour warm water. Try not to fill the glass all the way to the top, and you start by adding your dry yeast. You're gonna add 1.5 teaspoon of dry yeast. Now, in an empty container, get a container that can close, meaning a container that has a lid, because you will be taking out this container out in the sun so you can let it rise. So in an empty container, you want to pour 1.5 cup of flour. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the part where I forgot to record. So let's go through this step by step. So in your water and yeast mixture, you're going to add 60 milliliters of sugar. You can use brown or white. I used brown in this video. So you're going to mix your yeast, water and sugar all together until it is blended and became one. And then in a separate bowl, you're going to add 100 milliliters of milk. You're going to add 60 milliliters of melted butter. You can use butter or margarine, whatever you have in your kitchen, and you're going to add 1 egg. So you're going to mix your egg, milk and melted butter together in a separate bowl. Your water and yeast sugar mixed in a separate glass thingy. So guys, once your egg mixture has been properly mixed and your sugar and yeast water is properly mixed, you're going to add both the yeast water and the egg mixture into the flour container, and you want to mix properly. As you can see in the video, I started kneading the dough by hand. You can use a mixer if you have a mixture, but I prefer to use my hands because it gets the job done, guys. As you saw, our grandparents used to do this and their food was slapping. So if you want something to slap, just do it like how our grandparents did, okay? There's nothing wrong by doing things the old classic way. You're going to mix the dough completely until it is no longer sticky, and when you touch the dough, it should bounce back up. So you're gonna mix and mix and mix until it looks like this. So guys, once you are happy with your dough and you touch the dough and it rises back up, you can now close your container, cover it with a cloth and put it outside in the sun for it to rise. Now you can leave it for 30 minutes or you can leave it for a couple of hours. It depends how much time you have in that particular day. In this particular video, I didn't have much time, so I let mine to rise for an hour, and look, it did manage to rise. Now in a separate cup or dish, you're gonna add at least 1.5 tablespoon of cinnamon, and then you're going to add 30 milliliters of brown sugar. Now ladies and gentlemen, you're going to make sure that you're working on a clean surface, and you're going to flour your surface with flour, obviously, and then you're going to take out your dough from your container and start kneading it and roll it out onto the surface. Now, as I've said, that you're going to roll out your dough onto the surface. So guys, as you can see, I'm at uni and I do not have my roller with me, okay? There's no space for those such things. So I rolled out my dough using a glass. Like I said before, we're going to be using the old-fashioned method and use things how our grandparents used to use them, okay? So as you can see, I used a glass to roll out my dough and it worked perfectly fine. Once you've done that, you're going to butter up the dough. I use margarine, as you can see, and I started covering the entire surface of my dough. Then I started to sprinkle the sugar and cinnamon method that we once did earlier on. So I'm now sprinkling that all over the dough. Now when it comes to the rolling method, you're going to start rolling from the longest side. So obviously it's going to be a rectangular shape, so you're gonna start rolling from the long side, not the short side. So I would suggest that you make sure that your hands are slightly wet and start rolling it. Start rolling and rolling and rolling until it gets all the way to the end. Once you have done rolled up your dough, I would suggest that you start cutting your cinnamon rolls. You can cut them or you can use a string. I cut them in this video because I do not have any string. So you cut them up to whatever size you want. I like mine a little bit thick and chunky, so I did that, and then I put them in the oven. About your temperature, your oven temperature, make sure that your oven is not too hot and yet not hot at all. So I would suggest that you preheat your oven, so make it extremely hot while you're busy rolling out your dough. And then once you've done cutting your roll or your dough, you decrease the temperature so that it's not so hot. A little advice, a little tip that I would suggest that you guys do: once you have done cutting your cinnamon rolls, let it out to rest before putting it in the oven. So I let mine rest for 15 minutes and it rose once again, making it look stunning. And then from there I put it in the oven for 20 minutes. I first let the heat go to 220, then from 220 I let it reduce to 180 and let it bake throughout. You want to make sure that your cinnamon rolls do not brown too quickly, because if it browns too quickly, that means it's not going to be properly cooked. So you want to let it be one color throughout the time. So make sure the temperature is not too hot, because if it's too hot, the cinnamon rolls will get hard. But if it's too soft, obviously it means that it's not cooked properly. So you just have to use your natural baking instincts. Once your cinnamon rolls are done baking, you're going to remove the cinnamon rolls out of the oven and let it cool down aside. So you're going to take a separate bowl, add your 30 milliliters of icing sugar, 2 large drops of milk, and a tiny drop of vanilla essence. This mixture needs to be nice and runny because you're going to be drizzling the icing sugar method all over your cinnamon rolls. You'll be only drizzling the icing sugar on the cinnamon rolls once the cinnamon rolls have completely cooled down, meaning that you should be able to touch the pan, your baking tray, with your bare hand without getting hurt. What if you are able to do that? That means it is nice and ready, meaning it has cooled down completely. Once it has cooled down completely, you are now able to drizzle the icing sugar all over your cinnamon rolls. Now you are welcome to pour as much as you like. Now remember, because there is already sugar within the dough and sugar on the cinnamon and sugar mixture, so you might not want to add too much icing sugar on top of the cinnamon rolls if you do not have a sweet tooth. But if you have a sweet tooth like me, you're welcome to drizzle and drizzle and drizzle and drizzle, like soak the entire thing in icing sugar if you want to. But if you do not have a sweet tooth like that, I would suggest that you drizzle very little all over the cinnamon roll. And yeah, I would suggest that you enjoy this with a nice cup of tea or coffee, or you can have it with a nice glass of warm milk. Please let me know how did your baking experience turn out when you made this cinnamon roll. If you have any further questions or any inquiries, please do feel free to comment down below. I will answer each and every single comment. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please do share this video. Please do subscribe. It road to 200 subscribers, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.